The world entered a dangerous new phase today. At 2:17 a.m. Eastern Time, Iranian state television interrupted regular programming to announce that Iran had appointed a new supreme leader. His name is Mojtaba Khamenei, a 56-year-old cleric and the son of Iran's previous leader, who was killed just 10 days ago in joint U.S. and Israeli strikes. Within hours of taking power, he delivered a message aimed directly at the United States, a message signaling that this conflict is far from over. To understand why this matters, we need to look at what happened over the last 10 days. On February 28th, the United States and Israel launched large-scale strikes across Iran, targeting nuclear and military infrastructure. During the first wave, Iran's longtime supreme leader was killed. The operation was meant to weaken Iran's leadership and military capability. Instead, Iran responded immediately. Missiles and drones targeted U.S. bases across the Gulf region. American service members were killed. Oil prices surged worldwide. Regional tensions escalated rapidly as attacks spread to infrastructure and shipping routes. Then came a critical turning point. Despite warnings from Washington, Iran's Assembly of Experts selected Mojtaba Khamenei as the country's new supreme leader. Within minutes of the announcement, Iran's Revolutionary Guard, the IRGC, pledged loyalty before any civilian institution did. That sequence suggested something important. Military power now sits at the center of Iran's political system. In his first national address, the new leader described American casualties and economic disruption as Iranian victories. He declared that Iran would resist Western pressure and stated a clear war objective: the complete withdrawal of U.S. forces from the Middle East. This was not negotiation language, it was wartime rhetoric. Shortly afterward, Iranian commanders issued warnings of what they called an energy war. Analysts believe this refers to potential threats against the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow waterway through which about 1/5 of the world's oil supply passes. Any disruption there could send global energy prices dramatically higher and trigger worldwide economic consequences. Oil has already risen sharply since the conflict began, and markets are reacting to the possibility of further escalation. Another detail is drawing attention from experts. The new supreme leader does not hold the traditional religious rank usually required for the position. This suggests that Iran's Revolutionary Guard may now wield greater influence than the clerical establishment itself. In simple terms, Iran's leadership may be becoming more militarized during an active war. Some analysts argue this could still create an opportunity for diplomacy. A leader with no public record might negotiate more easily behind the scenes, and unified military control could allow a ceasefire if leadership chooses one. But others warn the opposite, that Iran has chosen continuity and defiance rather than compromise. Meanwhile, global reactions remain cautious. Israel has signaled continued military operations. The United States has issued evacuation warnings for personnel across parts of the region. China and Russia have remained largely silent, a diplomatic signal that analysts are watching closely. Why does this matter beyond geopolitics? Because the consequences reach everyday life worldwide. Higher oil prices affect transportation, food costs, manufacturing, and inflation. Airlines are rerouting flights. Energy markets are unstable. Financial markets face uncertainty, and thousands of military personnel remain stationed in areas now within active conflict zones. This moment also sends a broader message internationally. If attempts at regime change lead to stronger hardline leadership instead of collapse, other nations may draw conclusions about security, deterrence, and nuclear policy. Right now, several major questions remain unanswered. Are secret negotiations happening behind the scenes? Will Iran escalate economically by targeting energy routes? Will global powers push toward de-escalation or allow tensions to grow? And most importantly, is this conflict moving toward ceasefire or expansion? The next few days may provide answers. Upcoming diplomatic meetings, United Nations discussions, and intelligence reports could clarify whether both sides are searching for an exit or preparing for a longer confrontation. What is clear today is this: 10 days after a war intended to weaken Iran's leadership, the country has installed a new leader backed strongly by its military establishment. Public rhetoric on both sides has hardened, markets are reacting, and the risk of wider escalation remains real. The world is now watching what happens next, because decisions made in the coming days could shape global security, economic stability, and international relations for years to come. This is where we stand, Auri,